Can you hear me through this mic as well? You yes, yes, I understand. So can you hear me? I'm just asking the people who are online. Are you there? Hello. This is online mode.
Yes, we
Am
can
I
hear you.
audible in the online mode?
Yes, we can hear you well. Thank you.
Audible on the online mode?
Yes.
The president won't be coming. President won't be coming. She's busy. Oh, okay. No, no. Okay. So let's start with the session now. Okay. So till now we know. Till now we have seen like how to extract papers from the Scopus database. What is the different indexing that we have? Right. So let's move ahead and see what are the different type of columns that we have in the Scopus CSV file that we have extracted from here, right? So I hope everybody has gone through it and it is clear to all of you. So this is the file that we have extracted from the Scopus database. Are we all clear with this file? Are we all clear with this file? Any question? You were asking, na, like if they have any problems, yes. You can ask them as well. Please to ask. So you are able to understand everything till now? Yeah. So let's move ahead. So I told you, so let's understand this now. I told you this thing. I told you this thing ki whatever we have done, when we have extracted the papers from the Scopus database and all the process that we have done will become a part of a research methodology section. So let's see how do we write it now, right? So let's see how do we write the research methodology section. So let's move to that. So this is important aspect of it. So let me take you to my papers. This is one of my important. Let me open this file for you. This is one file. Let me open the multiple files for you so that I can move among them. Okay, the Prisma framework, right? So let me show you this. So these papers has been shared with all of you. Okay, now let's start with this. So I will be moving between different papers of mine that has already been published. So let me take you to this paper of mine and I'll be telling you how to write the research methodology section. The research methodology section is the second section of the paper. So I'll be telling you also how to write the papers, what are the different segments of the paper. So let's move to the research methodology section. So this is one of the most important table that you can make in your research methodology part. So what is talks about? So just have a look at this database. What is the database that I have abstracted? That is a Scopus. What are the where I have searched for? So what I'm trying to say over here is in which of the search I have looked for. So you can see from here, this is article title, abstracts and keywords. There are different options over here. When you look into the Scopus database, so you can have different options, but we will go for article title, abstracts, and keywords. So, what we have written over here is, so we have written here is where we have searched in the papers, that is article, abstract, article title, and keywords. So, what were the subject areas? So, this is what we have mentioned over here. These are the subject areas. So, this is the subject area. Can you see over here? So, we have mentioned this in a paper like this. This is the subject area, and these are the keywords, and this is the time period. And how do you come to know that this is the time period? From this file, you come to know. So, what you can do is you can sort it from here, sort from Z to A. So, you can see from here. Okay, let me sort it A to Z. So, you can see the are you getting this? So, this is one table that we have made in a research methodology section. This is one table. So, let me tell you one thing. So, when we are talking about the SLR paper, so it's like more hard work that is required because everything is to be done, or most of the things is to be done manually. But when we do a bibliometric analysis, all the tables and the figures, your software will design it for you, and you just have to read the write up. But when we talk about the SLR, we have to do most of the things manually. So it takes a lots and lots of time to write a very good paper. Is it clear? So this is the first table that everybody of you should make into your research methodology section. Okay, now let me tell you another thing. Making a table is important, but at the same time, you need to write about this as well in this section. Look at this. You have to mention about this table. Just don't think that you have done. Look at this. I have written everything over here. So making the table is important, but at the same time, giving a brief overview of the table is also very important. Right. So research methodology sections should have, let me tell you, when you are writing your paper, try to give more and more tables, try to make more and more figures. It will give you a pictorial presentation to the editor and the reviewer. So it gives a more good view to the editor to select your paper. The way when we um, when we check the papers of the students, so we normally look for the tables and the figures, and we give the good marks to them. So similar is the things with this. This is what I have experienced. So this is the first table you must mention. Next is the, let me take you to another table. This is in exclusion and inclusion criteria. Right. So what is the inclusion and the exclusion criteria when you have selected the papers from the Scopus database? So what is that? So just read it. So what I have done is, so let's say I have got this file. So let's say I have got this file, and this is the source title. Source title, let me put it into another worksheet. What is the source title? Let me increase the font size as well. This is the list of the journals. What is the source title? This is the list of the journals from where my papers are from where my papers has been taken. So let me say if I want it into a good journal to be published, so what I will do is, like, what I normally do is I go for Scopus indexed plus ABDC category journals as well. Scopus index plus ABDC category journals as well. Do you understand? So how do I know which journal is a Scopus index and which is a, so I already told you, just write it here as ABDC journal quality list. So you can see from here, if you click over here, this is ABDC journal quality list. If you click onto this, you will get an Excel file. This is another way of seeing which the list of the journals that is there in ABDC. So I'm just opening it and showing it to you. So this is the list. Can you see to it? So this is a huge number. Just have a look at this. This is around, let me show you the numbers. 2689. It will be maybe more. No. So these are the list of the journals that is there in ABDC. And in the last, you can see the ranking that has been given to the journal. Right. So what if you want to know? So this is another criteria that you can do is, like, your journal should be, what I normally do is I normally go for Scopus index. Of course, you have taken all the journals, all the database from Scopus index. So all the journals will be Scopus index. Plus, I want to see it is ABDC or not. Okay. So what I will do is I will take the help of this list and will see, this is the list of my journals. I will see whether the journal belongs to some category, ABDC category. If yes, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'll delete this journal or this record from here. Let's say this journal is not a part of the ABDC. So what I will do is I will delete this. Now, what will be my final number of papers? It will be less 1, 64. It was 64 earlier. Now it is 63. Are you getting me at this point? Are you all getting me? Yeah, good, great. So this is another search criteria that I normally put in for. And so यहाँ पर what? So inclusion, exclusion criteria. So articles published in both Scopus Index and ABDC from 2011 to 24. This is my published paper. So it is 1 year old. 24 May it got published. Research articles types include research papers, review paper, and conceptual paper. And these are the things that we have excluded. You know that? When we were using the Scopus database, we have excluded this part, case studies, book chapters. So exclusion criteria, inclusion criteria. Yahan pe we can also mention one of the things for the exclusion criteria, the papers published in language other than English. Exclusion criteria. This is your exclusion criteria. This is your inclusion criteria, right? So what is included? Any question, any queries? Yes?
I have a question about the time span criteria.
Yeah.
How many years in regular, or it depends on the topic?
Okay. So a very good question. Please pay attention to this. So she's asking about the time span. How do we select the time span? Any questions? So let me answer this question first, and then I can take your queries. So she's asking about the time span. How do we decide about the time span, right? Yes. So time span we do not select the time span. The journal, the Scopus database has given this of its own. Now, let's say we have more than 1,000 papers and we want to narrow it down because 1,000 papers doing SLR becomes difficult. So what we can do is we narrow down the time span. So from here, in the Scopus database itself, you can do that. Let me take you to this. So here is the time span. Here you can exclude some of the papers. You can decide. But you do this when you have a large number of papers. But in this case, we have a limited number of papers already. So please, let's not use this. Right? So it comes of its own. Is that okay?
But do we need to explain why we choose this time span in the SLR in the methodology section? Which means that we want to clarify.
No, because only those papers the Scopus database has extracted, that is there in their database. So that is the automatic that comes in from the Scopus database itself. Yes, yes, you have a question. Do you have a question? You want to ask something? Yes, yes, please.
You can show me the checks, the short title with the ABC ranking automatically or manually.
Okay. So there is a very easy way out. Whether to check this at a one go. So let me take you to this. So this is the list. So what we can do is like, let me copy this from here and let me put it over here into my. So the question is, she wants to understand that how do we see the Scopus, how can we match this? Just give me a minute. So let me not like this. So I'll do it for a few of the journals, but अच्छा वो नहीं होगा. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you here is how to see. So what we have done is, so everybody please pay attention over here. So what we have done right now is we want to see which journal belongs to which category. So this is my original list that the Scopus database has given me, and this is the list from the ABDC journal, right? So so there is a command that is called as a VLOOKUP. I hope you understand that. So there is a command that is called as a VLOOKUP for this journal, comma. एक minute, नहीं, I think this is wrong. Let me delete the extra. Okay, now we can do that. Is equal to VLOOKUP. So we have to look up for this journal, Energy Economics, and then select over here these two, the whole of the list. Comma 2, comma 0, and bracket closed. So this Energy Economics, we come to know that it is A star. So let me do this for others as well. So what we have done, just have a
Hello. Hi.
Thing. Oh, should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? I hope it is clear to all. So this is one table in data analysis part that you will be making in the data analysis. That is the next section. So let's proceed ahead to this paper of mine. So these are the exclusion inclusion criteria. So again, this is a part of the research methodology section. So what we are doing is we are talking about the only the research methodology section. So let's move ahead. Okay, so I told you again. So writing is also important. So please just look at this. I have made the table. Simultaneously, I have written this in words as well. Only articles published in this time framework were included. This. And what were the exclusion criteria? I have made the table. I've made the table, but at the same time, writing part is also important. The way I have written. Right? So it is always important. I'm telling you and repeating this again and again. So if we are making a table or a figure, narration or writing part is important as well. You have to write this as well, right? So let's move ahead to the next table that we can make into the research methodology. And this is also very, very important. And this is called as a Prisma framework. So everybody, you have always heard of the term that is a Prisma framework, and you want to understand what exactly it is nothing but it tells you how from the initial number of papers that you get from the Scopus database. So let's say for this paper of mine, I have got around 1279 papers, and how I go for 386 paper. This is the final count of the paper. So this is all about the Prisma framework, right? So how do we go about it? So it has 4 stages. This is the framework. This is some kind of a framework that we normally go for when we do the SLR paper, right? So how do we do that? So initially, how many papers I have got? 1279. Initially, how many papers? 1279 papers with the following keywords. Just, I want each one of you to read this, the center part, the 4 parts. I want each one of you to read it. Okay.
Should predatory magazine be excluded from bell list and
Let me see.
predatory journal?
Let me
I
see.
think it should not be excluded. It should be included. Yeah.
Let me see what are they asking. Just give me a minute.
You go to Zoom, just click on the green button.
Acha, okay.
Yeah, and then the chat. Click on the chat. You can read. You can read from my phone.
Okay, here
Click on
chat.
chat,
Okay,
yes,
okay. Yes,
yes.
there's a chat.
Close it. Yeah. Jump to the latest. Yes, yeah.
Should predatory magazines be excluded? Yes, definitely it has to be excluded.
No, they said be excluded from. It should not. The balance include those predatory journals.
Look, what happens is predatory journals like the papers that has been excluded from the Scopus database. So what is it like? Let me tell you an example. So let me give you an answer to this question. So what happens is like there is one journal that is called as Journal of Critical Reviews, right? There is a journal that is called as a Journal of Critical Review. I'm telling you and giving you an example with this regards to this. So let's say from 2010 till 2015, it was Scopus Index and it was doing good. Okay. Okay. So what happens was, so the papers from this time period will definitely be included because it becomes a part of the Scopus database. But the papers after this 2015 till 2025 will not be included. If got delisted from Scopus database. Did I answer your question? The participant from online. So this is the answer to it. From the, let's say, from this time period, 2010 till 25, it was Scopus Index and it was doing good. So all those papers that is there in their database, Scopus database, it will be there. But papers, let's say after 2015, it got delisted. So the papers from that time period will not be there. So, but before it was doing good and it is listed there. So those papers will definitely comes. Right. So this is the answer to that question. What? Okay. So let's move to the Prisma framework. Yeah. So I hope everybody has read this. So what it is talking about. So it has 4 stages and it is asking you how did you go about the total final number of papers from the initial number of papers that you have got. So let's say we have got total records 1 to 79 initially and it has the following keywords. So these are the keywords that we have used. So what we will have done, what we have done is all the exclusion or the all the inclusion criteria that we have used in the Scopus database, we can put it here. So in that case, we have excluded some of the records. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying here is when we are using the Scopus database, this database, so we have used certain terms and conditions. So we have limited our research to this English language we have used. So we have narrowed down the research, right? And the number of papers become less. So this is the second stage. So we are saying that we have articles were evaluated based on their relevance to ESG investing. Articles unrelated to ESG fields such as working papers, report, unpublished, and thesis were excluded. So this is the exclusion criteria. है ना? And after that exclusion criteria, how many papers we have got? 560. Is that clear to all? Is this clear? And now what we are saying, another criteria that we have put for inclusion of the papers is ABDC. So again, how many records we have excluded? 160. And we have got with 400. Now we have got a 400 number of papers. Again, what we will do is we will go through all the papers now, the 400 papers that we have got. So when I'm saying we have to go through means we need to read the abstract now. So we need to read the abstract of all the papers. Let me tell you where the abstract is. So you just click onto the abstract here and you put it here. So what we will do is here, just and increase the font size. So we have got the abstract. Now start reading the abstract, right? So you will definitely find some of the papers which is not relevant to your stream. There's certain papers that comes which doesn't make sense. So you have to exclude those papers, right? So after that, this is what the Prisma framework is. And articles were screened for quality journals with relevant content. And now we have got the 386 document. So this is about the Prisma framework. Is it clear to all? So let me tell you one thing. Again, I'm telling you again this thing. So you have made the figure, but you need to write for this as well. In all the stages has to be explained above in narration. So that is again a very, 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 very important thing. Just look at this. So what we have done here is, look at this. We have screened the articles, eligibility, inclusion, and this is how we move about it. So we have made the figure. We have made the figure, and at the same time, we have the writing part of it as well. Any questions, any queries till now? Any questions or any queries till now?
I
Yes.
have questions. So sometimes, sorry, it's about the journal ranking. So sometimes when we check the SIMAGO ranking and all the journal ranking, we see they have a big gap, like
Mhm.
different ranking. Then which one should we rely on?
SciMego only tells you the whether it is Scopus index or Q1 or Q2, Q3, Q4. So that is the only two things that it tells you, and the impact factor. So, but the another way to check is through the Scopus database. So you can check it from here. So this is more reliable. Scopus database. Let me show you this.
So if there is a difference, so if there is a difference between SIMAGO and like ABDC,
So we have to go for Scopus index. So that is more reliable. Any other query? I can show you this as well after I have put the query over here. I don't think so I can run the two queries simultaneously. Okay, so let me see to this.
if there is another publisher, it's called NDPI.
Yes,
Yeah.
MDPI.
So, so what do you think about that publisher?
It's good. No, actually, what is more important here is, let me tell you one thing. What is more important here is the journal, they include the number of the journals they have included there, and what are the indexing of the journal. Publication house can be anywhere, anything. Like it's Emerald, it's MDPI, it's Sage, it's Willy, whatever it is, doesn't make a difference. But what is important here is the list of the journals they have, and what are the indexing of a particular journal. So you should be more concerned about the indexing of the journal. That is more important.
Yeah, I do agree with you, but I understand some university, we have been told for a few publisher because they have too many of, debate or controversial, then we are advised that we should not publish in any journal of that publisher.
I have never heard of this thing.
Yeah, so
I have not
this
heard.
is something that we've been told in our school.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but
so
I have never heard of this
one
thing.
example is MPI,
Okay.
because they have to be published there, you have to pay
Okay.
a significant amount.
That I agree. Okay, so you are talking, yeah, MDPI journals. If you're talking
Yeah.
about, yes, that is open access.
Yes.
Their journals are open access. Yes, like if we talk about the enrolled publication house, so they have both the options available, that you can either go for open access or not open access. So, but MDPI has already open access. So, depends on you. But
Yeah. So in Vietnam, like the participant asked particular about MPDIs. And I think
okay.
that because they are controversial, yeah,
I got my paper published abhi only recently, and that is in B category, and that is I think Q2 as well.
in MPDI.
MDPI, only one paper of mine. This is the first paper that I got it published. But if it is Scopus indexed, and if it is like, actually, when do you go for the open access? When your college or the institution is paying the fees. If you have to pay the fees, then it is not, I will never suggest you to pay a fee. But if your organization is paying and they don't mind paying, so I don't think so. You can not go for it. I think you can go for it.
The second question from the participant is, what is the minimum and maximum number of articles which should be included in the SEO?
40, 40.
40 minimum
40 minimum. That should be there,
and
yes.
maximum
Unlimited. But you should not having more than, actually, when you are doing a bibliometric analysis, you can have any number of papers because you do not have to do much of the efforts in the bibliometric paper. The software makes the very good pictures for you and good tables for you. But when you are doing the SLR, you have to do everything manually. So there comes a difference when you have to do it manually. So not, don't try to make it more than 200. So this is my suggestion. I always go for 200 papers. 200, 300. Yes, I'll tell you how to use that. Definitely, I'll tell you, because recently because I've written so many papers on SLR and bibliometric, so I know how to combine it. I'll tell you the different models. I have made the models myself as well, and I'm going to float this into new papers of mine. So I'm working on it. I'll show it with you. I'll share it with you as well. Don't worry. I'll tell you the different frameworks that you can design. Yes. Any other questions participants have?
No, that's all.
Okay.
So when they text me, I read out for
Definitely.
you. Yeah.
Yes. So all good. So yeah. So I was saying here, you can put the name of the journal here, and you can see like what is यहाँ पर if we put.
You can type with one hand.
I know the typing. There was a subject in a class, so I know that. So spellings. Here you can click onto this, the name of the journal, and it will take you to the Scopus website. And now you can see these things, right? So this is another way where you can do the checking whether it is there or not, the Scopus index or not. So let's proceed ahead. And I hope it is clear till here. The research methodology section, the tables and the figures and the diagrams, everything is clear for the research methodology section. Is it clear to all? Any questions, any queries? Any questions? No? Is it all clear? Oh, nice. Okay, so let me take you to other tables. So let me show you, this is another paper on SLR. So what I'm trying to show here is you can make a diagram like this as well in your research methodology section, right? So this is a very good paper, and you can see this is a research methodology section. So you can make the table like this as well. It is not mandatory that you can make the table the way I have shown you. So this is another way of presenting a research methodology section, a table or the figure in the research methodology section. Look at this. I want each one of you to please go through it. Look, there is the objective of the study. So this is objective of the study in the first question. Second, the one diagram that we have already made, the keywords, subject area, study time frame. So next, screening or selection process. And this is analysis and synthesis, narrative synthesis. So this is another way of presenting a figure that depicts all the information about the research methodology section in this figure. I have given you all those papers. I think you have got all those papers. You have these papers. This is a paper by Zarur. So you can see from here, this is a paper titled as, let me see to it, Zahur, right? So there is another paper. So let me show you. This is my latest paper that got published in A category journal. And let me show you what we have done in the methodology. Just look at this. So this has been made by one of my co-authors, and he is Omkar Dastane from Malaysia. So he has made this in the research methodology section. Can you see to this? So he has made the elaborated diagram. So let me tell you, you can also be, just let me, okay, you are looking at this, just look at this. So this is the table. You can make the flow like this as well in the research methodology section. So what I'm trying to tell here is you can be creative. We can be creative. We can design it the way we want it. And it has to be elaborated and it should be understood by the editors and the reviewers. So that is what is important. Right. So I have shown you 3 papers with the 3 different methodology section, research methodology में 3 different figures with the 3 different ideas. So this is another way of presenting this. I think I've shared this paper as well. That is with the virtual words. Virtual words. Okay, 2025, like if you look for it, so it is like, so this is what yes, 2025 OD Suchita Virtual Words. So this is the name of the paper. Virtual Words, yeah. I should have put virtual words. Oh, I just forgot to change the names when I'm sending it to you. I'll do that now next time. So this is the paper. So this is one paper, Zahur Figures and Diagrams. So this is another paper, Zahur Figures and Diagrams, 2025 OD Suchita Virtual Words. And the another paper is by ESG paper, ADO model, Prisma framework. So these are the 3 papers that I've shown you for this research methodology section, right? So you can write it somewhere in your Word files or in your whatever notes you are making. So what are the 3 papers you need to follow when you're writing your research methodology section? So this will give you an overview. Matlab, it's a very elaborated way of doing the research methodology section, right? So I hope it is clear to all. I hope it is clear. Any questions, any queries till now? So let's move to the introduction session first. So let's move to the introduction session if you want first. So, okay. I hope everybody is enjoying. Everybody is learning and enjoying, right? Yes, sir.
Is it too slow, too fast, or just right? They said no more. So just right. Yeah, just right. It's not too slow. Okay.
Okay.
From 0 to 100%, how much can you follow? Above 80? Under 50? 50 to 80? Above 80?
That's good.
Above 80? Well, yes. So I think we
Nice. Yes, yes, yeah. So let's talk about the introduction part. So how do we write the introduction part? So let's move to that now, right? So I'm giving you a very, all the steps that is to be followed while writing a SLR paper, right? So till now, Can you please guess how many papers with respect to SLR I have written? It's around 10 papers I have written with respect to SLR. Now what I've started doing is I've started writing a mix match of bibliometric and SLR with my new frameworks that I'll be talking about when we will be doing the data analysis part, right? So this is, you also can do that and do it quickly, right? So that's a fast one.
So in your opinion, is it possible to publish SLR paper and not necessary to have to go collect survey or interview data? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have got three A category. I have got three A category SLR paper published. So this is one, the one I have shown you, ESG paper, ADO model. So another is Prerna 2024. This is Prerna SLR paper. This is again a category, Journal of Economic Survey. And there is another paper that is a virtual words that got published only recently. This is again A category. So three A category papers, and other papers are from different categories, B or C category, right? To be very honest. So B and C category. But these are my three papers that got published. I have really worked hard on this paper. I'll show you this paper. This is on impact investing. I really, really worked hard on this paper. So this paper is very, very close to my heart, and I'll show you how we have gone about this, right? I'll show you the data analysis part from this as well.
Can do a literature review.
I think,
Can do literature review like this.
I think everybody should go with the literature review. I'll tell you the reason why. Because when you go for a ADO model, I'll tell you what exactly it is. And what do you do in that ADO model? So you yourself will say that this is the most important part. Every researcher who has started with their PhD should go for SLR. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you in data analysis part, right? You will come to know. So anyways, yes.
How many years I when conducting SLR paper?
Yes, I have already answered this question, but again, I'll tell you. So what happens is, like, it's the Scopus database. Let me tell you one thing. It's the Scopus database that decides initially when you have extracting the papers. So it's the Scopus database that tells you the total number of years they have their papers for this topic. Now it depends on you. Once you have got the list of the papers, so let's say you have more than 1000 papers. You have more than 1000 papers and you want to narrow down your research. So what you can do is you can narrow down this, let's say it is from 2000 till 2025. So you can narrow down this from 2010 to 25. So as to reduce the number of papers.
But do you have the minimum number of years recommended?
No, it is not. It is not like this. No, it is not that. I hope it is clear. So let's move to the introduction section first before proceeding ahead. So this is, now we have done the research methodology section, and let's move to the introduction section. वैसे what are the different steps followed? What is the first? Introduction. Second is the research methodology. Third is the data analysis part. Let me tell you, an interpretation. Next is the discussion section. Next is the implication of the study. And last is the conclusion. Implication may, you must mention the theoretical implication and practical implication, right? So these are the different sections. Last, of course, is the references. We all know that, so that is not important. So these are the different sections of a paper when you write the SLR. Now let me tell you, there is one section that is missing in here, right? So normally when we write the papers, we write one more section and that is called as a review of literature, right? So but in here, but when we are talking about a SLR paper, so that section is missing, right? So we do not have this section that is called as a review of literature because we are doing the analysis here, analysis of past papers here. So why we do not include the review of literature section over here? Because in the data analysis part, data analysis, this is the third section of the SLR paper. So we're doing the analysis of the past papers here. Are you getting me? We are doing the analysis of the past papers. So we do not need to follow the review of literature section. In the qualitative, let me give you an example onto this. Let me give you one example. So what we do is normally in the qualitative paper, let me take you to one of my papers. Let me close down some of the files that is not required. Okay, so this is okay. So this is the model. Can you all see this model? This is a quantitative paper. This is a quantitative paper with the help of primary data, right? So what we do in this paper, we have made a model here. So making a model means it's a quantitative paper and with the primary data collection. It's a quantitative paper with a primary data collection, right? So what we do is we have defined some variables over here and we do the review of literature for this. So this is my another paper that got published in A category journal. So let me show you this. So we have done the review of literature onto this. I can share the paper with you as well. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, so when we write the review of literature part in normal paper, so what do we do is, look at this. We have, let me show you this. Just give me a minute. So let's say this is my model. This is my quantitative paper. So these are the variables. Just look at the variables. We come to know about these variables through the review of literature and we write the review of literature for this. We write the review of literature for this. Just a minute. Okay, yeah, this is the paper. So just look at this. So we try to establish the relationship. We try to establish the relationship between the variables with the help of review of literature. So that is why the review of literature section is important in a quantitative paper. But in a SLR paper, we are doing the analysis of the review of literature or the past papers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Have you understood this? No. No? I'm asking you, have you understood this? Okay. So what we are doing is we are doing in this section, we are making use of the past papers and doing the analysis of the past papers. I'll take you how, right, when we'll do this section. So let's move to the first, the introduction section. How do we write the introduction section for a good journal? So what all is included in the introduction section? So let's say our topic is on impact investing. How do we write? So what are we doing right now? We are talking about the introduction section of a SLR paper or any other paper. So this remains the same most of the times. So what all is included in the introduction section? So let's say The topic is on impact investing. So what we will write here is, what is the meaning? Meaning means in few lines, 1 or 2 lines. So impact investing status in India, in world, what is the research gap? What is the research gap? And what are the objectives of the study? So everybody, please have a look at the board, all of you. So what do we write into the introduction section? We write the meaning. We explain what exactly means to us. Then the status of impact investing in the India. Like I am from India, so I'll write about India. So you are from Vietnam, you can write about Vietnam and the world as well. Then you write the research gap. So let me tell you one of the important things. So I was talking to one of my co-authors, Mahesh sir. So I'm just giving you an example. So he is also the editors of many journals. Mahesh sir, he used to be at RMT University Australia. So he is a co-author with me. So what he told me was he is the editor and the reviewer of many journals. So the paper comes to him. So he told me, what does he look into the paper? How does he see whether the paper should go for a review or not, or it should be desk rejected? So what are the important things that he look into? So this is his opinion. So what does he talk about? He talks about this research gaps is important in the introduction section. So this is the most important thing that you have to put, how your paper is different from the other papers, right? How your paper is different from the other paper. So this is the most important thing. Another important thing, you have to write the objectives of the study over here. Now we do not have a different section on the objective of the study. Nowadays, what we normally do is we write it here. I am also the associate editor of 2 journals. And I also, when a paper comes to me, so I also look in for these things, right? I'm the associate editor of Journal of Sustainable Finance and Investing, that is Q1 journal. And another is Asia Pacific Financial Market, that is another journal that I'm an associate editor, right? And for this journal, many papers comes to me for review. So I also look in for those things. So this is very, very important, the things that we have written over here. So this is what is important and what is you have to write about this in the introduction section, right? Now, there is another important thing. So when we are doing the introduction part, so in-text citations, this is also very, very important. I hope you understand the word in-text citation, all of us, and the references as well. We understand these 2 terms, right? So what we have to do for the in-text citation and the references. So let me tell you one thing. So now 2025 is going on. 2020 till 2025. So try to put the in-text citation from the latest years, and that is 60% of your in-text citation should be from the latest years. So please understand this. This is very, very important that your in-text citation should be 60% of your in-text citation should be from your this much of years. And what is important? And it should be from good journals. So let me give you an example. So what we did in this paper of ours. So I am telling you when I wrote this paper. So everybody please just pay attention to this point of mine. So when I was writing this paper, this my co-author, he is Ganesh Das for this paper, and this paper also got published in A category journal. So what he told me, he teaches me this thing there. So what he told me was, he gave me a list of the journals that was only from A category. He gave me the list of the journals and that all from the A category. And he told me to cite the papers only from those journals. So I cited the papers in this paper of mine. I have not shared it with you. I'll share this with you. So he told me to cite the papers only from those journals, 4 to 5 journals he gave me, and from the latest years. So this is what I did. And this paper, you will see, I'll show you some of the things over here. Like, let me show you this. Let me take you to the introduction section and the review of literature section as well into this. It is from latest years. Can you see? Just see to this. This got published in 2024. So most of the in-text citations. Look at this. एक minute. Let me take you to
It's touches.
Acha, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I need to take
Yeah.
care of this. I'll take care
I
of it.
think somehow that the finger.
Okay. So I hope it is clear. So this is very, 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 very important. So let me share what he has given it to me. I'll share this so that you can understand. Let me see if I get it easily. Mm, why I'm telling you all this is so that, it becomes easy for you to understand the value of it. Look at this. This is the paper. So he has given me some model. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I have deleted that. Yeah. No, I don't think so. Huh? Just a minute. Yeah, yeah. I just want to say, ek minute, let me. No, I think I've deleted that file that he has given to me because this paper got published, so I don't need to do it. Let me see. In the first paper, it will be there. Ah, yeah, it is there. Let me show you what he has given me. So just have a look at this. So there is another paper of mine. So he told me to follow only these journals. So these are only from the A category. This is a marketing area. Can you see? So you also identify the journals that is a very good journals. You list down the name of the journals and you go to their website and try to cite the papers from there. Is it clear? And one more thing I would like, yes.
If some topic not recently researched, I couldn't find like recently researched, so it means I shouldn't follow that.
No, you have to follow that direction. So in a good journal, definitely the papers will be there. Some of the papers. What is important here is if you do not have in a good journal, then you can go for other journals as well. So, but you have to look in for the good journals. If you want your paper to be in a good journal, so
But I mean,
try to.
trend, if I follow trend is not popular now, so do you think can be easily to be topic?
I'm not able to understand. Please repeat.
What I mean is, if I can't find the recent research, it means nobody look like care about that topic or that trend. So should I keep look like research on that field or not? That's what I mean.
The one that is not explored, the field that is not explored. So you can do that.
But it's not.
It will, you will, that's okay, but you will get less number of papers, but you will get the papers. You will definitely get the papers.
Because sometimes I think some as look like literature, they have like trend. The end of the paper, they have future trend, the research. The
Yes, yes.
So is if it's not in the trend, should I follow?
Yes, yes, you can. Yes, yes, you can. Is it clear till here? So, okay, so let me tell you one more important thing and interesting. So, so what you can do is you can go to a Google Scholar website. You can open this website. I really like this website, right? I tell you why. Uh, if you just have a look at this, so it gives you a paper. Even if you type the name of the paper over here and you want to see if you want to cite this paper, so it becomes very easy. It has different styles, so you can pick any style you want, you are following, so it will give you that style, right? And you can put the references simultaneously in your paper. So what is important here is when you are using an in-text citation, do the reference simultaneously. Do not leave it for later on. You do it instantly and immediately. The moment you have put an in-text citation, do the reference part as well. Right? Am I clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? So, okay, so let me tell you another important aspect. What are the different objectives? Let me close it down. Let me close this paper as well. Let me close down the unimportant papers. ये रहा प्रेरणा paper. Okay, so let me take you to the this part. You know, this is one of the papers that we have really worked hard. Okay, so just have a look at this. This is the introduction section of one of my papers on impact investing. Look at this. I want each one of you to please look at this impact investing paper of mine. And this is all the introduction part. Look at this. I want everybody to pay attention to the board. So this is the introduction part of one of my impact investing paper. We have made too much of revision in this paper. Look at this. We have written about the SDGs, UN. So what they are doing about this impact investing, right? And what, look at this. There is a research gap portion that we have mentioned. However, limited research attention has been paid to exploring the behavior aspect of the impact investors. Look at this. So we have written the research gap over here. And finally, the research questions. Just have a look at this research questions. They, more or less, they becomes the same for all of us. The research questions that I've written over here in this paper, they more or less remains the same for every paper. Even if you are going to write a paper on SLR, so they will remain the same. So what is that? The first research question is about ADO model, right? So what is the ADO full form of that? Antecedent, decisions and outcomes impacting the impact investor. This paper is on impact investing. So it is on antecedent decisions and outcome impacting the impact investor. What are the geographical areas, journals of publication, types of research? What are the significant research gaps? What are the theoretical and managerial implication and future research of impact investment? So let me tell you, so these four questions that remain same for each and every one of us. So this is the ADO model. I must tell you, So there are different frameworks that you must follow. So what are the different frameworks that we normally follow in this is, let me write it over here for you all. So this is one model that is called as the ADO model. This is the framework. In the data analysis part, we must follow this. That is the ADO model. This is one thing. What is the another thing? That is TCCM framework. Right. Besides this, journal of publication, year of publication. I'll tell you what exactly it means. Don't worry. Don't get like I'm not telling you what exactly, but once we will do it, you will come to know about it, right? So this is the ADO model. ADO full form is, that is antecedent, decisions, and outcomes. What is the TCCM framework? TCCM, T is for theory, C is for country, next is for the context, and last is for the methodology. So if you have all these frameworks in your paper will definitely get published into very, very good journal. Believe me to this, the English has to be good and definitely it will publish. So we will do one by one what exactly it means and how do we go about it. So all are with me? So is it interesting? Yes? So, okay, so let's move to the third section of this study that is called as a data analysis and interpretation section, right? So this is the data analysis and interpretation section. That is the third section of the study. That is a SLR paper. So we are moving on to that now. So let's do it. Let's start with the easy part first. Yeah. So let's start with first journal of publication. Now we are moving on to the section that is the data analysis. So let's write it here. This is the third section and that is the third section and that is the data analysis and interpretation. Right? So let's say this is 3.1. So it will be journal of publication. Let's say next section, year of publication. Next section, you can write more and more publication house. I'll tell you what exactly it means. So, yes, so let's do this first. Okay, so the first section, so now we are moving on to the data analysis and interpretation section, right? So now what is the journal of publication? So this is the first section that we will be doing right now. So now this file we will be making use of rigorously, right? Quite often we will be making use of this file that we have extracted from the Scopus database. Now you will understand the importance of this file, right? You will understand the importance of this file that we have extracted from the Scopus database. So let's start with first journal of publication, right? So the names of the journal, we have already done this right now, but let me give you this. So this is the title here. You can see all of you. So just click onto this here and put into a new sheet. So you get this like this. Journal of publication. Journal of publication means what are the journals that has published the papers on the topic that is impact investing and sustainable development, right? So this is the names of the journals here. So what we have to do is we have to compile it. So how do we compile this? What we do is we do the sorting on this. We have already done the sorting. Now what we have to do is like we write the name of the journal and the frequency of it. How many times, how many papers are from this journal? So let's say it is 4. So now let's say business strategy is the another journal and the environment. So it has 2. Are you all getting this? So how does it look like? So let me take you to this paper of mine. This is how. इसमें what we have done is, sorry. What we have done is here is, just a minute, like this. So what we have done over here is, we have put one more column. So this is the table that you will get, right, for your papers. And this whole table is to be put into this file. And what you will be doing is you will be writing this over here. So again, I'm telling you this. So when you have made the table, so what you have to do is you have to write it as well. Just have a look at this. So what we have do is, this is the journal of publication. So I've written about it. I hope it is clear. So this is one of the tables that you can make besides ADO and TCCM framework. So this is one of the tables, right? So any questions, any queries still here? Anything you would like to ask? Should we move ahead? So next is the year of publication. So let's see, how do you get that data as well? So now again, let's move to the Scopus database file. This is the one. So you just click onto the year. You move to the another worksheet. Here, you arrange the data. Let's say it's 2014. So you just sort it down. I have already sorted this. So what we will do is, we again will make a table. 2012, how many papers? 1. So let me increase the font size for this. So another year, 2014, it is 2. 2016, it is 1. 2017, it is 2. 2018, like so on. And let me show you how it looks like finally. This is how, either you can show it into a figure or you can show it into a table. That depends on you, right? You can show either in the form of a table or you can show this in either form of a figure. That depends on you. But the narration again is important, right? Right? So let's move to the next one. So what is it? Okay. So another is publication house. So another is publication house. Title, author. Yeah, this is the publication house. I was telling you about the publication houses. Can you see to this? Again, what you need to do is you sort it down, ABC. So you can see these are the publication houses. Again, you have to make this table like elsewhere, how many times it is there. So you can see, you can skip those ones. You can skip this ones. Why? Because it has only 1 papers to its credit. And they don't seem to be from good journal, so you can skip it. So you can write, when you are writing the narration, you make this table in your paper, and when you are writing the narration, you say, we have excluded, we have taken the top 10 publication houses, and this is the list. Understood? So elsewhere you can count the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can write down here as 8. So next is emerald. So you can write it down here as emerald. And you can write it the number of papers, that is whatever the number of papers is. So you make this table again to your paper and do the narration. All good? So this is, yes. Yes.
To database about the scholars and the scholars. Let's get example of if we have 200 article papers from two different sources like scholars.
So what you have to do is you have to delete the duplicates first. What you do is like what I normally do is I have done this once. I have used this web of science along with this. So what you will be doing is you have to finalize this list first. Please understand, you have to, this is the list, like I am saying this is my final list, right? For the total number of the papers, this is my final list. So but if you're taking from the two databases, let's say Scopus and Web of Science, now you have to make a final list by yourself by merging the two databases. Let me repeat what I have said. I'm saying when I have taken from one database, I can very confidently say, this is my final list. This is my final list, right? But when I'm taking from two databases, let's say I have got two CSV files. In that case, I'll get two CSV files. You understand that? So two CSV files has to be merged first, and then you have to delete the duplicates, and then your master file will be generated, and then you have to work upon that master file. Is that clear? So how do you delete those? How do you come to know there is a duplication? So what you do is like there is this thing. This is the title. You can see source title. So you can you just put from one database. Just have a look at this. So you have put all the papers from one database. Let's say this one, and at the bottom of it, what you will do is you will put the another database papers. You will put the another database papers, and this field title and that title of the another database should be at the same place in the same column. So what you will do is after that you will sort it. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? So you have to sort this, and then two papers will come at the same place. So you have to delete the duplicate files. So that is how you will, and then it becomes your master file, and then you can work upon it. So now this is our master file because it is only from a single database. This is from a single database, so there is no need to merge. There is no need to do anything else. Okay, so now let's talk about the next important thing is the TCCM framework. Break?
Yeah, for the afternoon and to have a better understanding for the afternoon. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, lunch break. Yeah, lunch. We have lunch break. Sẽ nghỉ trưa với bữa khác nghỉ tới 1 giờ rưỡi. When maybe we have a break of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then we will make the lunch.
Sure.
Okay, sorry for interrupt you.